Hello, magandang araw po sa ating lahat. My name is James Lloyd Gadingan, and I am going to report today about the issues and problems in fiscal policy. So I am with Ma'am Habiba on this report. She reported the issues and problems in fiscal policy, but then as we dig deeper, we discuss about also to include the possible solutions for the issues and problems in fiscal policy. So, as identified, six we have six issues and problems in fiscal policy. We have one, the budget deficit. So, as part of my report, I am going to talk about the possible solutions on each problems and issues in fiscal policy. So, as I've said, we have the budget deficit. So, possible solutions, letter A, we have to decrease government spending. To achieve budget balance based on the current budget standing of the Philippines, we must cut back our government spending. So, government expenses includes spending on a current goods and services, which economists call government consumption. Government investment expenditures such as infrastructure investment or research expenditures and transfer payments like unemployment or retirement benefits. For example, we should decrease spending on military equipment because currently in the Philippines don't need to increase its military defense. So second, we have increased taxes. Increasing the taxes rates of the employees' income will result to the increase in budget because there would be a higher tax remittances that the government will receive. Letter C, we have the combination of the two, the budget government, to decrease the government spending and the increase of taxes. We can implement both solutions to meet budget balance and improve its effect. We need to increase much on taxes if we are going to and we are going also to decrease our government spending. If implemented, increased tax while decreasing government spending will surely lessen budget deficit of the Philippines and will help attain budget balance. So letter D, we have the audit government spending. The government must only spend based on their allocated budget in order not to incur deficits. To find out in a certain sector spends more than what is allocated, we must audit every expenses incurred by the government. It is not an easy audit. It is not an easy task by simply keeping every receipt of costs and expenses incurred by each sector and by submitting the tally every quarter. We can ensure that the budget goes to where it is supposed to be allocated to, right? So the last one for the budget deficit, we have to audit the taxes. The government can earn more from taxes just by auditing the taxes itself. So many companies and businesses commit tax evasion and tax avoidance. Tax avoidance is a legal act wherein one company spends his net income on donations or other expenses to lessen the taxes they need to pay. Tax evasions, on the other hand, is illegal act where the company doesn't report real income of the company but reports lower income to lower the taxes. Tax evasion can cause imprisonment and payment of a very large fine. If we audit tax collection specifically from companies earning millions, we can catch tax evaders and earn millions from just one company. If we combine all fines collected from tax evaders, we can earn even billions. Fixing the system of the government would greatly improve not only our country budget balance, but also the country. So next, we have the so-called inefficiency and budget allocations. So I found possible solutions, which is one, fix the system. One example is to take out the president's immunity and other officials' power while in position, which made President Arroyo untouchable when evidence were in front of the people's faces about her corrupt practices. So, yun po. Tatanggalin po natin yung immunity na meron po yung mga high-ranking officials sa bansa. So, next, we have to computerize the system of collecting taxes. This would be a lot more efficient and accurate rather than the manual way of checking tax collections. Last, we have to stop with the crook practices. The Bureau of Internal Revenue, as it is very evident in the news before, there was this regular employee who is a regular salary receiver and possess a luxury car worth million. Even with increase in tax with 12% in a larger coverage and tax products, the deficit is still increasing in the country. So the next issues and problems in fiscal policy, we have the tax collection. So I have here the possible solution: expand the tax bracketing. According to the International Revenue Code, or the NIRC, Section 24, the tax shall be computed in accordance with and at the rates established in the following schedule. So, not over 10,000, at least 5% of the expanded and tax bracketing. Over 10,000, but not over 30,000, 500 plus 10% of all of the excess over 10,000. Over 30,000, but not over 70,000, we have 2,500 plus 15% of the excess over 30,000. Over 70,000, but not over 140,000, we have 8,500 plus 20% of the excess over 140,000, and so on and so forth. So, next possible solutions, I have here the allocating budget for recording and auditing system. Easier auditing system. So computerizations of recording and auditing would make a workload easier and would make the process be well organized. So then next, we have hiring more efficient and eligible workers, lawyers, and accountants. These efficient workers would help boost the organization of the system and operations in the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Accountants and lawyers are best choice in this kind of job because they are efficient and superior in terms of taxations. These efficient workers would help boost the organization, the systems, and operations. Yes, so next we have the fourth issues and problems in fiscal policy. We have the Bureau of Internal Revenue's law technology. So here are the following are the possible solutions. So letter A, one solution is that they onset the tax computerization project in 1994 and continuously use information and communications technology to strengthen tax administration, which is great idea for them to obtain the information faster. Second, the BIR, or the Bureau of Internal Revenue, must also invest budget for new computer hardwares and softwares for faster data inputs. The BIR, or the Bureau of Internal Revenue, should also put in budgets to hire skilled BIR personnel that are equipped with the required knowledge in computer operations and system. By implementing this, the BIR also attain transparency in its operations due to computerized information that will be available to the public and provide easy access to information regarding taxes. So next there is also a need for an electronic submission to the Bureau of Internal Revenue as required tax returns, forms, and lists. So it is designed to make the tax fulfillment easier and convenient for the taxpayers. They can use this method to submit taxes on time and places convenient for the taxpayers in the file it on required time and date. Another solution is that to enforce advance payments of business in income tax for establishments without the permanent address such as changes and bazaars as well as its organizers. There is a regulation currently being imposed that fixed amount of value-added tax of 150 per day and income tax per day of 50 are to be collected advance per month from the operators. This is good idea since it would be nice, it would be good and hassle-free for the BIR to collect taxes from establishment whose income are not fixed. So, and lastly, they must provide call centers that will attend to the taxpayers' questions, complaints, and feedback regarding their services. As a result, that they will be able to get opinion or of the people for them to improve their services, thus making auditing information and service more efficient in the long run. On another note, since we would need a lot new equipment and call centers, there would be a need for new employees that utilize these capitals. This would be also good for the company or the economy since there would be more jobs opportunities available. So next issue and problems of the fiscal policy, we have the pork barrel. So alam naman po natin na pork barrel is ito po yung mga funds na binibigay sa ating mga mambabatas. So during a term of their tenure sa kanila pong mga positions. So I have here the possible solutions. The government should not increase and cut down the budget of pork barrel. The government should cut down the budget of pork barrel, but if there should be an increase, the government should use to increase the pork barrel for something else, like for education, health, infrastructure, etc. Why? There is a need of pork barrel. In 2010, what is the political rationale of Congress of giving Aquino 68 billion in pork barrel fund, which is 200% bigger than the budget allocated for Department of Health and 300% bigger than the budget allocated for state colleges and universities? For what noble purpose this budget is intended to? Is it a foreign trips abroad? Is it the political allies for Mr. Aquino? For what purpose and for whom? Asked the hiccup. In the statement, it states that the pork barrel is higher than the budget of Department of Health, gave enlightenment that the solution for all this is to cut down the pork barrel and allocate the budget to other government budget like DPWH or the Department of Public Works in Highways, the DOH or the Department of Health in the DA or the Department of Agriculture. So Next, we have the government should use some of the pork barrel, not entirely everything to pay our foreign debt. So, di naman po lingid sa ating kaalaman na malaki po ang utang ng Pilipinas, and we as the citizen of the Philippines, we are part of paying those foreign debt. So, we have a foreign debt about 62.62 billion, or the 13 trillion pesos. With the help of the pork barrel, it can lessen the country's debt slowly. So letter C, the government should enact a Freedom of Information, or the FOI law similar to other countries that give the citizens free access to the right to see all public records and government transactions. So with this law, the citizen can be assured that the pork barrel is really used to be for the benefit of the country, which make citizens believe that it used to correct and justifiable way. Another thing that the government can do is to promote greater transparency in the use of the pork barrel funds by requiring all the projects to be listed publicly, available throughout the internet and print media, so that the citizen can monitor the progress of the project and can learn to appreciate the pork barrel. Letter D, the government should form a certain no-bias group that will keep watch on all the government spending and where to flow transaction is going. With this, there would not be any government misengagement anymore, because everything is monitored by this group and will lead the citizen to pay their taxes because they can see where their money is going. So that's the most important thing. We are paying taxes, but we should know where our taxes goes. So mahalaga po 'yon. So mahalaga pong malaman ng bawat mamamayang Pilipino kung saan po napupunta ang kanilang mga taxes. So with that, let's move on to the next issues and problems in fiscal policy. We have the graft and corruption. So here are the possible solutions I had found, and letter A is to end impunity. So ending impunity, effective law enforcement is essential to ensure corrupt and punish and break the cycle of impunity, or freedom from punishment or loss. Successful enforcement approaches are supported by the strong legal framework, law enforcement branches, and the independent and effective court system. Civil society can support the process with initiatives such as transparency of international en masse and the corrupt campaign. So it is really important that lahat po tayo ay makialam, and para po tutukan ang mga ganitong problem na nasa ating lipunan. So next, we have to reform public administration and finance management. So reforms focusing on improving financial management in strengthening the role of auditing agencies. So we have the COA, the Commission on Audit. Agencies have many countries achieve greater impact on public sector reforms in curbing corruption. On such reform is disclosure and budget information, which prevents waste and misappropriation of resources. So alam naman po natin na lahat ng budget na dumadaan sa ating gobyerno is ino-audit po ng Commission on Audit. So lahat po yan, whatever the amount, kung para saan po at saan po napupunta, lahat po yan ay listed at ino-audit ng Commission on Audit, or the COA. So letter C is to promote transparency and access to information. The Philippines, successful in curbing corruptions, have a long tradition in government openness, freedom of the press, transparency, and access to information. Access to information increase the responsiveness of the government bodies while simultaneously having a positive effect on levels in public participation in the country. So lahat po 'yan nagkakatulong-tulong, no? We have also the press, transparency. That's why lahat po ng mga possible solutions na ginagawa ng ating mga mabatas just recently with this FOI or the Freedom of Information Law, na lahat po ng gusto nating malaman about the government or the government spending is accessible po for the public. So also, we have to empower the citizens. So, strengthening citizens' demands for anti-corruption, empowering them to hold government accountable is a sustainable approach that helps to build mutual trust between citizens and government. For example, a community monitoring initiatives have in some cases contributed to the detection of the corruption, reduce leakage of funds, and improve the quantity and quality of public service. So the citizens have the power, yun nga po, na makialam or maki-involve po sa lahat ng mga activities na meron po sa ating mga politicians or kung sino man po ang mga namamahala sa ating lipunan. So the information or the citizens has every rights to know about everything in the government, especially if it is concerned with the people or the constituents and the citizens of certain places or for the whole country. So next, we have to close the loopholes. Without access to the international financial system, corrupt public officials throughout the world, especially in the Philippines, would not be able to launder and hide the proceeds of looted state assets. Major financial centers urgently need to put in place ways to stop their banks and cooperating offshore financial centers from absorbing illicit flows of money. So dito po sa close of loopholes, the access of the state asset should be only for the highest ranking officials or should be assigned, meron pong mga naka-assign o meron pong mga tao na pwede lang po maka-access because this is very sensitive and very confidential. It shouldn't be available for anyone in the politics. So kagaya nga po ng halimbawa, meron lang po silang ina-access or our president or our vice president or sa mga namamahala po ng yaman ng bansa, sila lang po talaga yung pwedeng umaccess dito. So the other issues and problems of fiscal policy. In fiscal policy, we have poverty, lack of education, drugs of substance abuse, vices, crime, unemployment, rising number of street children in urban centers, child abuse, forced labor, and pedophilia, pollutions, illegal mining, logging, deforestation, dynamite fishing, landslide and coastal erosions, wildlife extinction, global warming and climate change, war against drugs, violence, religious conflict, and political conflict. These issues and problems were being addressed by different agencies in the Philippines, government agencies in the Philippines. So like the DENR or the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. We have also the DILG, or the Department of the Department of Interior and Local Government, the DSWD, or the Department of Social Welfare Development, and the police and military. We have also the DepEd, the Department of Education, and the DOLE, or the Department of Labor and Employment. Aside from that, we have also organizations in outside government. So they are so-called the non-government organizations, or the NGOs. We have example, the USAID. We have also the what do you call this one? We have meron po tayong mga samot-saring foundations. For example, the ABS-CBN Foundation, or yung mga aid po na galing sa iba't ibang organization all over the world. So sila po yung madalas partner ng government sa pagresolba ng mga other issues and problems in fiscal policy. So that's it. That was the end of my slides and reports. Thanks for listening. Again, my name is James, and I'm hoping everyone having a great day. Thank you very much.